Well, that's the reaction concerning what transpired yesterday on the floor of the Senate. Even the National Assembly also had its own fair share. Well, we're joined now on the phone by the National Publicity Secretary of the APC, Alhaji Lai Mohammed. Thank you for joining us this morning, Alhaji. The party released a statement yesterday, and was that of, in what word, they were not exactly happy. In fact, the word was unacceptable. The party will not accept this, but the president says, has always said he will work with those who emerge as leaders in the National Assembly. Many are wondering, doesn't this statement of that of the party contradict the principle and intention of the president?
Well, please, would you please speak louder? But I think I've gotten the gist of your question. I think primarily you are asking whether the president's statement did not contradict that of the party.
Yes.
If I'm correct.
Yes.
And the answer is no. I read the president's statement. He said he expressed the sadness over the fact that the candidates of the party did not emerge. However, that in line with his public, position that he is ready to work with whoever emerges. A process has taken place, is constitutional, and he will work with them. I don't see any contradiction in that, because the position of the party has little to do with the competence or otherwise of those who are elected, but rather that they were not the candidate of the party.
Well, now, we also spoke about this yesterday, but let's take it back to that meeting.
Speak louder, please.
Let's take you back to the meeting that happened yesterday, or that was supposed to happen yesterday at the ICC. Well, many were wondering that the party missed it because, number one, the meeting didn't hold. Perhaps you should even tell us what's your impression of why the meeting didn't hold. We know we've spoken to Garba Shehu, but what's the thinking in the party concerning why that meeting did not hold?
The meeting did not hold for two reasons. One, those members of the party that were bent on disobeying the party directives did not turn up. And while the president was preparing to come to attend the meeting, where all other faithful, loyal members elect were, he was informed that they had already started voting in the upper chamber. And at that point in time, there was no point for him to come over to join us at the meeting. And that's why we now asked our members to go back to the House of Reps and also went back to the president's place.
We understand that the party had written a request to the Senate, to the clerk of the National Assembly, asking for a shift in time. Is that correct?
A letter? I'm not aware of that letter.
If that is not the case, then the inauguration was scheduled for 10 a.m. You don't think that the situation could have been worse if only PDP members were there and they had formed a quorum and gone ahead to elect both president and deputy senate president?
No. You see, if all the members were there and there was no disobedience of the party directives, there's no way the clerk of the National Assembly would have commenced voting. Because you see, even if you look very well at the entire procedure yesterday, it's very questionable. Questionable in the sense that, yes, it is true that you need a one-third, quorum, for businesses to start in the Senate. But that one-third quorum refers only to the regular business of the Senate, not an occasion like the inauguration of the House itself. But those are issues that we are going to address much later.
But Alhaji, about this meeting that was scheduled to hold, we spoke to Honorable Zachary Mohammed yesterday, and he said he didn't get any notice for this meeting. So we're wondering, were they all informed about this meeting?
That's not correct, because I am aware that not only did I issue a statement, which you carried, which was carried, on most radio stations, but personal texts were sent to every member elect.
And if you say some of these members didn't attend this meeting, choose not to be at the meeting, why didn't something, I don't know, the party, initially when you held the meeting, you came to the venue and you didn't form, let's use the word, a quorum. Not everyone was there. What then happened before they got to the assembly? Between the time they left the venue of the ICC to the assembly ground, what transpired? What did you get?
No, I hope I get your question very well. You see, we had about 34 senators and about 180 members of House of Rep at that meeting, waiting at the ICC when I joined them. Don't forget, I left Lagos yesterday to join them at the meeting. Now, they were waiting. I came in and I saw the president had not arrived, and we put a call. I actually personally put a call to the president, and I was told that they were on their way. But shortly after, my attention was called to the fact that, look, they've been called from their houses that they have started accreditation, they started, voting. At that point in time, the president himself saw it on television and he felt that there was no point to coming. That is exactly what transpired.
Are you aware of a letter written to the clerk of the House to move that process to a later time, giving time for the president's meeting with the members?
I'm not aware, and I'm not aware. But if that letter exists truly, then why didn't the clerk of the National Assembly, honor it? It was written by the president, but I'm not aware of such a letter.
The reason we asked this is because we just spoke with one of the publicity persons to the presidency, and he said that there was a letter. We asked what time was on the letter, asking which they asked the clerk to move the inauguration to, and he said, well,
no, like I said, I'm not aware of the letter. Letter exists, let it be tendered. But even if it exists, then the question is, if it is true Mr. President wrote that letter, why was it not honored?
Well, he did not say the president wrote the letter. He just said that it would seem that there was a letter. But that is on the one hand. The question then is, it would seem that even if that meeting had held, there was very little that the party could do to stop what happened yesterday, or what would have happened yesterday on the floor of the Senate, because it was the exact same thing that happened on the floor of the House, this time around in front of all the party members.
That is pure speculation. That if the meeting had held, it would not have, impacted, it would not have, changed what happened. That is pure speculation. Because what they are saying is that, even if the meeting had held, they would still have dared the president, they would have told the party to go to hell. That's the implication, and I don't think they want us to believe that.
That's a big risk taken by the party, knowing full well the numbers of the PDP. Shouldn't your party have allowed its members to go ahead with the process instead of calling them for a meeting? Because the PDP could as well sat down and do what finally some members of your party did yesterday.
Look, you see, where in the world is it wrong for a party to try to reconcile its, members that are factionalized? How can you blame the party for trying, even if it's at the 11th hour, to resolve, a crisis? I think it's very unfair. Yes, the party knew that some members of the party were bent on defying the directives of the party, and the party believed that probably if the president appeals to them that should go to the floor with only one candidate, it might change, their minds. I mean, is there any harm in trying?